Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Omega and Byzantium. So the turn is 5888, year 1192 AD, and we are one turn away from Metallurgy. I want to say that we have achieved our main campaign in the war against Israel, and to a certain degree against Mali, because we have managed to eliminate 3 cities here. 2 of them were, I believe, Israelite and 1 was Malinese. If the war was hard before, it has turned into an actual massacre around the city, because what the AI did is it pulled its strongest unit, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a specialized unit that defends with cannons. It has strength of over 40, and it had a bonus from walls, it had a bonus from desert, and it had a bonus against mounted units. So what we did here is the only actually smart thing that I could do, and that is I just took all of my swordsmen and en masse send them against the walls until we literally pummeled them and drowned them in our own blood, taking them down to strength of around 14, at which our cavalry was able to overpower them. But that means we're left with only 3 heavy swordsmen at this point. All of the other units were lost, but the city fell. The city fell, and we have plundered the surroundings. We plundered also the area around here, around the second city that we plundered, and the third city I don't remember. I think it was this one. So the surrounding, as you can see, is also plundered. So we've done a ton of damage, for which, however, we were repaid by Israel just refusing flat out to peace out. So they no longer want to sign a peace treaty with us. And Mali signed a peace treaty with us for exactly 3 turns, after which they immediately declared war again. However, with the destruction of the cities here, the AI has pulled away its armies, probably within its territory over here. And that means they are no longer threatening our forces, who are now, after proper healing, limping back home. And I'm planning to destroy some more of these buildings along the way. They're not giving us anything, and we're not getting any experience because they're not in the enemy territory, but we're gonna do it nonetheless in case they want to resettle here. Now, in our territory proper, we have started the recruitment process. There is a number of units that we have already merged. Some of them were sent to border patrol, but in Constantinople we are training the cuirassiers here, and I think in the next turn they will be finished, because I believe we have 24, 24, and 216. Yep, so the next one is going to come, and we're going to merge them all together into one big unit that's going to go to Rehovot, where it's going to join the army. We've also built a couple of war mammoths, though they are no longer, or not yet. Actually, we've built only 1. Okay, they're not merged, so they need to be merged and sent. One of the cities is building bombards, and I believe, is it these? Oh yeah, this is Batavian merged unit. So this is actually 9 units merged into 1, and they look like this, with an attack of 24.75, and they got City Raider too. By the way, I was mistaken. It was the other way around, which makes much more sense. If you merge 3 units into 1, you get a company, and if you merge 3 companies, you get a battalion. There's a big difference between company and a battalion, but I guess the game is just naming it like this. For some reason, though, I thought when I was reading it that it's the other way around, but it made no sense, and I think I mentioned that in the video as well. And we have a couple more bombards, which are just single units, the upgraded equipment that we stole and sent back to our territory. But most importantly, when it comes to our own territory, we have a new city, Mauro Castrum. which has a population of 1,500 people right now. We're actually facing a huge issue. I sent in the population, but we weren't able to grow the city because the unhappiness was too high. So what I did is I grew it, turn by turn by putting in more population while actually getting some things that improve our happiness, like ancient customs. And I think we built the music hut. That was another one that helped. And those are, I think, it. Now we're going to finish the warehouse. And once the warehouse is done, we're going to build a Colosseum, which is going to give us 4 happiness. At which point we can merge in the last captive civilian. And then we're going to use the supply train. Well, actually, this one... together with the captive military is going to be used to hurry up the Colosseum. But after that is done, we are going to get some other buildings scheduled, and we have a number of supply trains already flowing back in because we finished buildings in a number of cities, so we can now afford it, meaning that we no longer have stuff to build. So the cities that actually finished all of their buildings are either building cuirassiers, bombards, war mammoths, or the, what was it called, camel cuirassiers, I think. And if they're not building those, they're actually building us the supply trains, which are going down here. And I've even built a couple of food trains, but those were directed to Rehovot because we want to grow this city. I think it's the last one that's actually below population 16, so we need to fix that. And then we're going to focus all of our attention at Mauro Castrum. Once we grow it to population 16, we're going to make sure all of these grow to 17, and so on and so on. I don't think there's going to be expansion in any of our near future because, we literally just can't afford it due to the unhappiness. Other than that, I think all is well. When we look at the domestic stats, you will see that I've done a lot of work on it. We still have some cities that have fairly high crime for us, meaning they're very close to 0. But we're working on it. Some of these are moving. Otranto, Mesembria, I think I scheduled some stuff for them. And when it comes to disease, the situation is the same. We have Eudoxiopolis and Mauro Castrum, but Mauro Castrum obviously is a new city, so it doesn't work like that. Basilinopolis, which had a huge issue, is just dropping like a rock. And Eudoxiopolis, which I believe is over here. Yes, it's over here, is building the sewer system, which is going to lower it by 10 per turn. So everything is fine for us. Everything is fine. With that said, I think I'm going to end the turn over here, and let's hear it for Metallurgy. Korea wants us to trade. Tar for lard. Sure. Anything else you might want to get from us? You actually got a ton of technologies considering your strength is only 242. And Chinese Republic wants to buy our dog worker. It ain't happening. Oh, and Charles V wants rite of passage. Sure. Anything else? Nope. I guess not. Oh, wait, can we establish embassy? Yes. Cool.
I weigh the man, not his title. 'Tis not the king's stamp that can make the metal better.
So Metallurgy gives us 3 buildings, and it gives us the Causeway, which is an upgrade to bamboo bridge, brick bridge, covered bridge, log bridge, rope bridge, stone bridge, and viaduct. And it gives us the Foundry, which is an upgrade to the forge, giving us a bigger bonus to production. And it gives us the Starfort, which replaces the castle, which may be needed to put a bunch of stuff. I think it lowers crime the same way as the castle, but it gives them more defense. Plus 25% of the minimum defensive value of the city. That's interesting. That means the minimum defensiveness would be 75%, I guess. and it gives us a lot of units. Heavy crossbowman, a siege wagon, or a baldaquin, culverin. I believe we might have a chance to upgrade some of our cannons that we have just built. It gives us brigantine and the sloop. We should gain access to the repeating crossbowman because we do have clockbong. It has a huge bonus versus melee. So, well, unfortunately it upgrades to musketman. So that really isn't a big point. And it gives us mechanical free. Now let me just see what we have here, and then we're gonna investigate closer. So Amorium is one of those cities. Well, actually no, you finished some building, but you can now get the Starfort unbelievably cheaply. You could get the Foundry, and you still don't have the Highwayman's hideout. Now let's get these then. And considering leadership is gonna come in 23 turns. We're definitely gonna use you for some other stuff. Yep, Baldaquin is here, and Culverin, and a Falconet. That's actually pretty cool. So, our main army will continue just limping back home. Let's pillage this town until it's completely destroyed, and let's also destroy the hamlet. Can we destroy the roads? Yep, we can. And you guys still have a lot of movement, so let me send you northwards, where you are going to destroy the town, pillage the village, pillage the hamlet, pillage the hamlet, and pillage the college. Nice. And you guys that are right next to them. Alright. Oh, you weren't. Ah, okay. I read that wrong. But I think you can go and clear the city ruins. And you three go over here and destroy this one. Hunting Preserve. Okay, and we have some extra doctors for our army because we need to keep it at top shape. You can just pillage over here in the Milanese territory. They declared war on us again, so they're gonna suffer. And we're gonna fix this. So we have the tannery being built, but that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna build a Colosseum. We're gonna awake you, have you hurry up, and have you finish it. And because that happened, we can now add the last unit that we have here, which is gonna join the city. Nicely and professionally done. Yep, we have a population of 8 now, 2,000 people. As you can see, not all tiles here are finished, but we have 2 large groups of units improving this territory. You actually finished the hunting preserve here. There's a donkey over here. There's a fort over there. Put the fudge cutter here, or you know what? You're gonna build a town over there, and you finished what? Oh, you're still building a town. Okay. I wanted to mention that we have another great farmer over here planting the horse. This time we already upgraded the camel. So the wood grain is getting slightly more production from the tiles. Once we're done with this one, we'll plant something here and here, so we, get better efficiency out of the city. And let's look at Constantinople, which can now get the causeway, which is actually going to give us a bit of a trade route. It's going to give us a bit of research. and you can build the Star Fort and the Foundry, which is gonna give us a pretty decent bonus. So once you're done with the key resource, get that done. And I guess that's all for now, really. I'm gonna move back home with the army, and hopefully in 23 turns we're gonna see some major, like not in here, in the Rehovot, some major upgrades to it. I don't know, I'll probably do some raids on the enemy, but no large campaigns. I'll keep the slower units back home and just use the horse archers, which we will upgrade if we can, all to the cuirassiers, and we'll just use them to destroy their territory and plunder it until they sign a peace treaty with us. That sounds like fun, and you know, I've had my large campaign and I don't want anything like that anytime soon because it was a nightmare. So let me just rest for a bit and enjoy the game, developing my cities and not constantly just fighting turn after turn after turn, bleeding out units, bleeding out manpower, bleeding out health and sanity. Turn 5910, year 1210 AD, and we are one turn away from leadership. So what's new? Oh, by the way, it has been a long couple of turns, though nowhere near as close as when we were fighting Israel and Mali over here. That is not to say that we're no longer at war. We are, but I'm keeping my distance, letting them do their thing. They're letting me do my thing. They're letting me do their thing for them. But no, they're letting me to do my thing. I'm letting them do their thing, and we are all at peace. Even though they still reject my peace offerings. But hey, as long as they stay out of my business, I'm fine. We have been working on upgrading the army significantly. You can see that Israel's strength is now only 4.1 times higher than ours. It was, I think, 4.9 last time we checked. There is only a couple of units over here left waiting. It's mostly the units that we cannot upgrade, like the heavy axemen, which will upgrade to musketmen. Same with the swordsmen, I believe. Yeah, they're all upgrading to musketmen. Same with the flailmen. And I don't know what you guys are upgrading to. Musketmen as well. So all of these units are going to upgrade to musketmen. The ballista elephants could upgrade to bombard elephants. I don't know if we can. No, we can't. We need cavalry tactics first, so they're here. But we already see some reinforcements here. We have one of these bombard over here, which is the united unit with the bonus to city attack. And we have 3 units of cuirassiers here. 2 of them at strength of 60.75 and 1 at strength 57.46. They're all at flanking 3, which means they can skirmish with the enemy very effectively. And we have more units coming soon. Not only are we already sending some, but we have a lot of our units actually moving to Constantinople. I don't know where they are, I think. Over here. We have this amount of units actually moving back to... Oh, okay, they can upgrade over here. Cool. All of them can upgrade to cuirassiers. 34,000. So let's do that. I've been actually sending them back home. Why didn't you upgrade? Probably because you already moved. So we'll be able to upgrade you next time. But look at that. All of these units are now cuirassiers. Wow, these guys have 67 strength. 60.75. 45. Yeah, it's definitely gonna do a lot for us. 40, 30, 30, 30. These are the skirmish units. 27 that had strength around 15, now they got 27. Really nice. Apart from that, we have been building some war mammoths. I don't know where they are, but I've sent them to a newly constructed 4th tower, or what is it called? Stone watchtower. Okay, so we have a stone watchtower over here. Our units are stationed around it because that's at the border from which the attack would come. If they by any chance try to cross in this area, we are not defenseless. I've also sent a couple more units to patrol the border, and we have actually redistributed the militia that we had all stationed in Constantinople, now that it's Renaissance militia, along all of the border cities. So every city that can be considered a border one, including Rehovot and Verinopolis, has one or more of these militia units staying there. You guys actually don't, because they're already on their way. But they might be already... No, they're still not in Verinopolis, but they're on their way somewhere. Not sure where, but they're on their way. The pathfinding is a bit weird. We're sending them through all hell and back, but it's a bit weird. So the construction of units is also continuing. We have a bunch of cities that are working just on that. Yeah, here are some camel cursors that are going to be attached to the border patrols, and we'll need to upgrade you guys because you could be all upgraded, so we'll need to deal with that slightly later. I also upgraded all of our city defenses to arquebusiers, so the cities are also much better defended. I mean, the arquebusiers no longer have a bonus to city defense, but their strength is just so much higher that they make up for it. The archers have something like 7 plus 75%, and these guys have 15, and they got the city defense bonus, so plus 75. You know, you make the math. Plus the city natural bonus, they will be pretty good. They will be pretty good. As far as our cities go, Mauro Castrum is actually growing pretty nice. We've got a number of buildings that are already built. Commercial port is going to be ready soon, which will greatly boost the yield from the sea. Really happy about that. Plus it gives it a bit more growth and science. Then we're going to build the counting sticks, and a couple more buildings are scheduled, which will increase the industry production. We are at 151. 42 is coming from the food production in the city. You can see that we upgraded a number of tiles already. The amount of buildings, though, is ridiculous, so it's going to take quite some time to deal with it, but crime is dropping like a rock. It's at minus 345. Disease is at minus 98, and education is growing by 15, currently at 743. And the city is about to receive a bunch of supply trains and food trains, which are coming from all over the territory. The ones that are built in the very east, though, are being set to Ludgovain, and some of them to Verinopolis and Rehovot, because I would like to boost these cities as well. Rehovot is at population 16, which is fine. There are a number of cities that are at population 16, as you can see: Chalcedon, Nicopolis, Constantina, Kallipolis, and the aforementioned Rehovot. But we're still trying to make this city as strong as possible, because it's the one that's very exposed, so I would like it to grow as fast as possible. There's a bunch of growth buildings or food producing buildings right now scheduled, because it's slowed down all the way to plus 5. I mean, it's in the middle of the desert, so it's really not a big wonder that they're not getting too much food from here. But yeah, there's that. The crime and disease, though, and education in Rehovot is amazing, so the city is growing nicely. I'm also being a bit mad about the amount of resources we're sinking to Ludgovain, because I just realized that despite all of our tries, the city is still not on education above 2,500. It will get there soon. It's about to build a Lyceum, so it will definitely move above that. It has a decent growth speed, but the production is still extremely poor, and it's, disease is dropping, but crime is, well, I mean, the city is not bad. I was just, somehow I think like the city should be one of the best in our empire, because, Ludgovain, it's the jewel of the desert, and it's not. So we'll need to work with it a bit more. But it's not fair, because it's, not in an ideal spot at all. It's, it's not Thessaloniki or, Adrianople, which is in a lush land near a river. This city is literally in the middle of the desert, and we have to plant camel and horse bonuses around it, so that's something to do. The best thing it has is this oasis here, which is also out of reach for it anyway. So, I mean, the city is rich, but that's about it. Apart from that, I think we're doing fine. The overall population is inching closer to 6 million. We are sitting at 5,822,000 right now. And when you look at the domestic stats, you will see that the education is going really well. We have literally only 4 cities below 2,500 in education. One is Eudoxiopolis, but that's growing. We have Ludgolain, which is growing, so these two will inch above soon. Otranto, I think, has a couple of buildings scheduled, but it's currently fighting with crime. And then we have Maurocastrum. So very soon all of our cities will be above education 2,500, which I consider a big success. As far as crime goes, we are also fighting that. Many cities are decreasing crime right now. The worst one, as I said, is in Otranto, but it's dropping. Eudoxiopolis is slightly increasing, but I shadowed a couple of buildings to make that better, and the rest is kind of fine. I keep monitoring it every few turns. And as far as disease go, the worst one is in Maurocastrum, well, obviously because it's a new city. Eudoxiopolis, again, dropping. Ludgolain, which had a very bad disease situation, it got all the way to like minus 15 or something, is now at minus 253 and dropping significantly, so it's gonna get to somewhere, I hope, like minus 400 or something. So yeah, not much to be sad about. What is interesting is to see the increase in air pollution. Rehovot now has 324, being the most air polluted city in our empire, followed by Thessaloniki with 227, and then a bunch of cities are way above zero, with Leucosia having the freshest air at minus 113. And with water, the situation is similar, but all of our cities have polluted water, with only Misitras having below 100, and Antioch having, Dyrrhachium having the highest pollution of 381. I actually don't know if we get any penalties for that. I think it starts somewhere around 500, but you can actually check Dyrrhachium, and the water pollution is actually even increasing. So conceptual. Safety, resources, pests, housing, and folklore, education. I don't see anything here, so I guess the pollution is not such a bad thing. And before we end the turn and hear it for leadership, I actually wanted to check the buildings in Constantinople, because we haven't checked that in a while. So where do our people live in the capital? So here's the conceptual ones. And we have housing, commons, cottages, domuses. Oh, that one is disabled. So commons, cottages, estates, fraternity houses, manors, shacks, and shantytowns. Okay, not too shabby. And when we look at Ludgolain, people here live in commons, cottages, estates, and fraternity houses, manors, shacks, and shantytowns. Okay, and in the newest addition to our empire, Maurocastrum, people here are homeless. Okay, then there's nothing built here yet. Gotcha. Well, I guess it's connected to things like, what could it be connected to? Maybe to the town hall or something like that. Well, they're obviously homeless here at this point, so we'll see. Eventually they're gonna get something. Anyway, that's all from me for now. Let's hear it for leadership, and then we'll see what's gonna come then. So we got a great general, Ehud Barak, Israeli politician who served as prime minister from 1999 to 2001. He was leader of the Labour Party until January 2011. He previously held the post of Minister of Defense and Deputy Prime Minister in Benjamin Netanyahu's second government from 2009 and 2013. You want salt for silk? Sure.
Soldiers usually win the battles, and generals get the credit for them.
Nice quote about Napoleon here. So first to receive this, gets a great general. Okay, so that's why we got it. It enables confederacy and leads to a number of technologies. So as we discussed before, this one gives an upgrade to our doggies. So we now get the guard dogs. It's one of the requisite technologies for sharpshooters, which are national units. So this should be an upgrade to the spy, I think. We've already checked that. Viceroys. So viceroys can get attached to a unit and they increase withdrawal chance and avoid capture and suffer less collateral damage. This might be good for our large Carissa units. They actually make a lot of sense. Captured Corporal and the Warlord Corporal. So we have the Warlords, so this is probably an upgrade to them. Let me see, did we get it from Medieval? No. In Classical? Warlord Chief. Warlord Captain. Yep. Okay, so we got the Warlord Captain, so they can now upgrade to Warlord Corporals. Bonus to city attacks against archers, mounted melee, and animals. We get Guard Cats, Niam Niam, and Pueblo Rebel. And the most important, we get Garrison, which is an upgrade to Barracks. It still gives plus 3 experience to melee, recon, mounted, and animals, but apart that, it gives experience to wheeled, tracked, gunpowder, and siege weapons. Okay. And it gets replaced by military base eventually, which gives to helicopters, dreadnoughts, high tech, and other. Now we're gonna get this one. It requires logistics, which is a part of Atomic Age. Okay, well, that's way too far. We can get a guard dog trainer. Oh, that's nice. That lowers crime and replaces. No, that's a new building completely, and leads to a number of technologies. And let me see about the Confederacy. So that is a different rule to what we have. So vassalage, keep 3,000. We're getting a lot of bonuses in all cities, which we would lose. It gives a bit more from trade routes, and it gives a bit more science in all cities, while we're getting a bonus in capital. 9% free military unit upkeep. We're getting free civilian unit upkeep. And we would lose the maintenance cost from number of cities. But the maintenance cost from the distance from palace would also go down. So we would save a lot of money on that and get an extra trade route per city. Plus happiness in 1800, extra money from merchants, and extra food from plantations, farm. Wow! Extra food from plantations and farm, extra production from pastures and farm. Oh wow, okay, so we have to do this one. Confederacy is a big. When it gives this much food bonus, then we have to do it. Do we want to switch anything else? Not really. What about coinage for Paper money. Yeah, we've discussed this. That takes away some protection in the capital, but it gives more money from trade routes and more money production in all cities. But we would lose the maintenance from all cities on home continent. So that's also a possibility. Open borders. And that's about it. Paper money, philanthropic guilds, feudal, vassal levies, legislature, confederacy. Okay, so we're gonna switch to confederacy and to coinage. Okay, but let me first check that we do have enough for the golden age. Yep, we do. So it's gonna consume 1 great general, 1 great engineer, 1 great merchant, and 1 great prophet. Okay then, so let's do it. Let's change our civics. So Confederacy. Actually, before we do that, I want to see this. So we get crop yield of 14,297. Manufactured goods 24,755 and 53,623. Okay, now let's change the civics because Confederacy is going to be a big thing for us. And the paper money here. So paper money instead of coinage. Revolution. And we're going to start the golden age. We're going to remove the anarchy. Okay, and can we now see the stats? Oh my god, 14,499, so that is like a 2,000 increase in food. And gold was also something like 52,000, right now it's 59,000 in manufactured goods. 25, yeah, so the food production is just amazing. Yeah, 87 in Constantinople. What about Mauro Castro? 47. Hey, well, I mean, it's not gonna do anything for cities like Ludgoland, which have no farms, but no, actually it does. Nice. Okay, so that was actually a pretty good choice, and we have a golden age now as well, so that's gonna make everything better. Cool. So I guess I'll see you in 22 turns with the last update of this episode, which will be in regards to dueling, which just gives us 2 buildings, boxing ring, and fencing academy, which give extra to gunpowder and melee, 3 extra experience to melee and 1 to gunpowder, and a bit of education. And boxing ring gives extra to melee. And that's about it. Cool. Turn 5,932, year 1,227 AD, and we are 1 turn away from dueling, the last technology that we will get in this episode. So what's new? Well, it has actually been a really peaceful 17, 20, I don't know how many turns from the last update. We have grown our army significantly, as you can see on the comparison to Israel, which now has only 3.8 times the strength of our army. Most of the units that we wanted to upgrade are already over here or arriving. You can see that we have a huge amount of cuirassiers, quite a lot of them at a strength over 60, some of them at around 50 together with our ballista elephants. And then you get a bunch of them in the 40s and 30s range, and then the weakest ones, which are just single units, not even companies, are at around the strength of 20 to 27, some at 18. We have the cannons coming over here. You can see we upgraded our wagons to siege wagons. We have a couple of culverins, a couple of bombards, so things are looking pretty good. We also have a great to strengthen the border patrols, so a lot of our units are now coursing around the border, just hunting barbarians and wild animals, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And last but not least, we focused on upgrading our cities. In many of them, actually, we ran out of things to build. So we are utilizing, yet again, things like supply trains, building armies, improving our cities by building the guard dogs, building the donkeys and horses that we're sending around. So it's, again, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Dueling, if I'm not mistaken, gives us 2 buildings, but I don't think either one of these is going to be too... Well, actually, 4,400 is not very little in cost, so we might spend a bunch of time upgrading our cities with these 2 buildings, but after that I'm going to start turning them back into research so that we advance our situation. As far as the new city goes, Mauro Castrum is at population 10 now, with population of 3,000 people. It's going to grow in 18 turns. We have a lot of military captives here, but I don't really see the point in spending them at this point. We're just going to get a bunch of really easy to get buildings that are going to boost our education, which, as you can see, is already growing rapidly. We are at 1,241 and increasing every turn by 22. Crime and disease are also dropping, so the city is doing really great. Hopefully it's gonna get to population 15, 16 very soon. As the domestic advisor will show you, we have only 2 cities now at education level below 2,500. One is Otranto, which is being a bit complicated, but we're focusing on it heavily. I'm trying to micromanage it to get it as high as possible very quickly. And Mauro Castrum, which is our new city, which is growing. As far as crime goes, it's great. Pretty much every city, with the exception of Otranto, is doing good. Odysseopolis is going to build a couple more buildings that are going to help it with it. It had a recent growth, so that's why it has a bit of a struggle. And Odysseopolis has the lowest disease, highest, in this case it would be highest disease rating of -163, which is, again, connected to a recent growth. So I'm happy about that. Many cities have grown in the meantime. Our population now is actually 6,223,000 people. The crop yield is helping a ton with that. The fact that we're getting more from farms and other buildings, as far as food goes and other resources, it's just amazing. We are seeing rapid growth in all of the cities. Some even have something like 300. It's amazing, but we've had quite a lot of growth. Actually, I haven't checked the population setup. So Constantinople has 41, Laodicea 46, Adi 34. Thessaloniki 32, and the 30s are caused by Adrianople 31. And we got 4 cities with population 29, Philippopolis, Nissos, Ankyra, Mizitras, then Attaleia with 28. I still remember when we were founding this city. Amorium, Antioch, Mesembria 27, Dyrrhachium, Dorivaeum, and Nicaea 25, 24 Patra, Triadissa, Theodosipolis, Trebizond, Edessa, Litigoin 23, Modena 22, Iconium 22, Nicomedia 21, Otranto, Heraclea, Adramitium, and Ragusa have 20, and that's it. Then we're down to below 20. There's actually a huge amount of cities with 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities with population 19. 1, 2, 3, 4 cities with population 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities with population 17. One with 16, which is Constantina, and Mauro Castrum has 10. I've been sending quite a lot of supply trains and food trains to Rehovot, so I think that it might actually be good to switch that to Constantina and Mauro Castrum to have them grow. Constantina is really remote when you look at it. It's really far with not a lot of growth going on. Yeah, we could build a ton of food producing buildings here, but we're still focusing on industry. So once that is done, we will start a rapid Rapid growth of our food production. Service. So steel. Yeah, and I decided that the next city that we're gonna found is going to be in this location. Actually, I don't know the exact location. I think this might be a good place, but we might go down and found it here. That's also a possibility because it's gonna give us a ton of resources. Yeah, and actually thinking whether or not it would be better to found it in the mountains, but I was about to say that it's actually creating a protective wall against the mountains. Well, there's literally nothing in the mountains themselves that would be interesting for us. So founding the city here is gonna connect this border, and then we can build another one. I guess here or here somewhere to cross off the border, and we can fill the middle ground with 2 more cities probably. But yeah, we need to strengthen this border so that we have a concise line. Yeah, one city could be also here and another here. But yeah, we're really pushing it. Again, I think I mentioned that a couple of times already, but with Model Custom we were really struggling with keeping the population happy in the beginning. We had to grow the population step by step because there were riots and stuff like that, so not really a great thing. We really should chill on the growth of our, no, actually the numerical growth of our cities, not the cities themselves, but yeah, still. Anyway, let's end it here and hear it for Dueling. Sejong wants to trade. Sounds like a deal.
The sword is mightier than the pen.
So, Dueling. A boxing ring and fencing academy are the buildings to be gained, and this one leads to team sport and flintlock. Okay, so let us just examine the cities. Yeah, well, these actually take quite some time to build, but they're gonna be worth it. So let's put it into every single city. Oh wow, Barcelonapolis has a ton of things to build. Education is fine. Disease and crime the same. So we can look over here. Candlemaker is a good choice, always. Then food. So let's get the brewery, cider house, and all of you, including the brothels. And then money-wise, well, actually education is not as good as it could be. So is there anything else that we didn't get? Fencing academy. Let's get an officium. That's a really good building. And then the bookstore. Then we can look at well, your place does the castle, so that might be better to build it already. Disease apothecary. Okay, so that's a shuttle. Maximilian finished the tree nursery. Anything more here? Wow, you have a ton of things you can still build. Coffee shop is amazing. That's an overall great city. Surveyor's office and foundry. These are gonna help you a lot. Okay, and let's look at Constantinople. So running a supply train and then 3 tamed elephants, which we will split between our cities. And we can get a fencing academy and the boxing ring. And flintlock will be coming in 23 turns, not 3 turns, 23. And after that, cavalry tactics, which is gonna give us an upgrade to the elephant and some of our cuirassier units as well. And what's the for technology? Did we not set that? So it's flintlock, cavalry tactics, and that's about it. So what about a naval cannon? Any buildings? Pirates Cove? No. No, that's not what I want. Political philosophy, humanism, oil and painting, team sports. What do you give? Minor League Stadium. Oh, this one is really nice. It's an upgrade to the Colosseum, polo field, recreation center, rugby field, soccer field. Those are not bad buildings. Critical thought would be great. Heliocentrism. First time to discover this is a great admiral. So you know what, let's go for heliocentrism. So after cavalry tactics we're gonna get battlefield medicine. Oh, that's a really nice one. Field veterinarian. This gives field hospital and pharmacy. And then the last one is going to be astrolabe. The next episode is going to be astronomy, navigation, and heliocentrism. That gives real phenom or real fine tables. Consist of a star catalog and planetary tables. Oh, pollution. Okay, so this is the first pollution that we can get. Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess that's all for this episode. We've done a lot, and I'm happy to say most of it was done for our empire and not for conquest, which I can truly appreciate. So hopefully the next episode is going to be the same. But you know, with this army, I'm much more inclined to do an aggressive stance towards someone or do some raid and stuff like that, because it will be much easier to defeat their units. So, as I said, thank you very much for joining me. Now, see you in the next episode of Caveman the Cosmos, the Byzantine, and me, Alpha Pi Omega.